What's going on, guys? It's Bookie Beatdown, the official recap for UFC Baku in Azerbaijan. Lots of speculation from myself that this card would be a little crooked, a little shady. There was a lot of weird instances, but I don't know how corrupt it was overall. On the prop side of things, went 5-0. On the parlay side of things, Oban Elliott trash. And of course, Jamal Hill in the main event. A small chance to maybe recapture some glory for the last fight. Paul tried to talk me out of it. I went with Hill, and also not so good. But let's not waste any time. Let's rip through this recap and see what went right and all the things that also went wrong. Starting with Muhammad Usman versus Hamdi Abdelwahab. Yeah, I just can't bet Hamdi. Can't get behind it. What I will say in this fight, right? It was basically just like a fade the guy that had the favorite status with him. I'm not a big fan of Muhammad Usman, although I did think he'd have a better gas tank, maybe a little more volume, could win this fight with Hamdi. Hamdi maybe has some better wrestling, just not sold on this guy. That first round, it looked like it was going to be an easy Hamdi fight, and that it was going to be a foolish pick from all the guys that were backing Usman in this one. It just looked like Usman was afraid, like a cat trying to like strike his opponent and then get out of dodge before the strike ever landed. Hamdi's not good, but he's a bowling ball of a man. He comes forward, and I will give him this. For the first round, he's not terrible. Those leg kicks he was landing on Usman, they were heavy duty. The thing is he throws 3 of them, 4 of them. The right hand, although it missed a lot of the time, he was giving some constant forward pressure, landing some right hands. Usman just looks petrified to be there. This is an easy 10-9 round for Hamdi. Usman's got to make those adjustments. And then in the second he does, it's not like it's a super easy Usman round. It's that the two biggest moments are a nice right hand early in the round and a nice right hand near the end of the second round. That, I think, being the difference maker. Hamdi's trying to, walk forward and stalk him still. Just he's not fast. He's not fast. He's not a high output guy. He stopped using those leg kicks that were having some really solid effect in the first round. He just became complacent following Usman around. Usman's all jab. It's jab. It's jab. It's jab. It's jab. But it lulls you into a sense of just, oh, only this jab's going to come. And then his right hand, especially straight down the middle, it's fast. He just don't throw it a whole lot. Sometimes he'd throw it, and if it didn't hit, he'd live himself overextended. Hamdi would counter him. By the second and the third round, he stopped doing that. He would just feed him 15 jabs and then try to hit him with one singular right hand and get out of dodge again. So solid round for him. Stuffs the takedown. Wins the second round. It's 1-1 going into the third. And then in the third, it's like the optics of it are though it's a close round. When you look at the numbers, Usman outstrucks him 48-18, right? So it's definitely an Usman round. That seals the deal. He ends up winning the 29-28. But again, in real time, it's like everything he's landing is just a quick little jab, quick little leg kick, and then he's gone. Hamdi seems to have caught a second win. He's trying to track him down. He's trying to land a big old right hand. He's trying to make something happen. And so the body language of it, if you watch back that third round, the body language is like Usman keeps turning, he keeps ducking, he keeps turning his back. He's damn near spinning around, and he's running. He just does not want to get caught up against the cage. It visually looks bad. Then he'd hit Hamdi with 3-4 quick little shots, light shots, but hit him with some volume, and then Hamdi would try to bulldoze him again. So like I don't think that third round looked good for Usman. And then there's 25 seconds left, and he zings Hamdi with the right hand again. It doesn't buckle, but it kind of just causes Hamdi to sway a little bit. You can tell he's hurt. It's the biggest moment of the round. It's one of the bigger moments of the fight. Usman then finishes up strong for that point out, closes at the last 20 seconds. Most definitely wins the fight. So I know in the Discord there's a little bit of talk like, well, we got to hope that they get the right decision. They should get the right decision. I mean, he outworked him rounds 2 and 3, seemed to win, I wouldn't say comfortably, but easy enough that you can expect the judges to get it right. And unless somebody got paid off or unless something's going on, they're going to get it wrong. But they didn't. They called it straight down the middle. Muhammad Usman wins by unanimous decision. We had an over 2.5 rounds bet for this one, although it wasn't a great price tag. It was like minus 260. I think everybody expected these guys to probably go to decision just because they're bigger, lumbering heavyweights, not really known for their finishing abilities. But all the same, you get two big boys locked in the cage like that, it's going to be greasy. And this one felt greasy. Both guys got stung, not hurt, but stung a few times. And wasn't the easiest 2.5 in the world to hit. But thankfully, it did hit. Anyways, Ulanbekov was the biggest favorite on the card. Of course, I would have used him on the top line, but chasing a little value and putting him with another big favorite just wasn't quite doing it. Of course, it's a flyweight fight, and I'm always hesitant on these flyweight fights because they're competitive. They're always competitive. Doesn't matter if one guy's a 7-1 favorite. Flyweight fights typically tend to be closely contested affairs simply because of how much is going on, right? There's lots of scrambles. There's lots of strikes. Both guys are not prone to get tired. Lots of action, constant stuff going on to analyze. It ends up being closely contested fight. So I just because this one was flyweight, it's like maybe there was like this tad bit of uncertainty for Ulanbekov, but he ends up being the pick. And listen, it was a competitive fight. First round, Ulanbekov got sorry, he got technically it landed him 19-18. I should bring up this one instead. This first round, yeah, 19-18, and he goes 0 for 4 on takedowns. Did get like a little over a minute of control time. Slightly outstruck him. You see the totals 23-18. This is a close round. It's a close round. It's just one that I edge toward Ulanbekov. You know, his right hand seems to have a little more pop in it. He seems to be controlling the cage a little bit better. I give him the first round. Second round, to me, much of the same. Ulanbekov outstrikes him. He does get taken down briefly for 46 seconds, gets his takedown stuff, but gets a little more control time. I'm not trying to be biased on this one. I just really did feel like Ulanbekov won in the second round as well. Third round, again, is closely contested. He gets taken down twice. The numbers are pretty close. If there was one round that you were going to say Maksum won that round, it would be the third. And again, I hate to sound biased on this, but I also did score the third round for Tagir Ulanbekov. So personally, I had Ulanbekov winning 30-27. 29-28 would be the absolute worst case scenario. You see two judges did give it 30-27, with Eric Cologne giving it 29-28, which is not a bad card. It's just I kind of thought Tagir did a little more. Now, because he's getting a little bit older and it's the flyweight division, like, was this that big, empathetic win that's going to set him skyrocketing up the rankings? Maybe not. Does it put him in title contention? Yeah, because there's no title contenders at 125 pounds, and he's on a decent little win streak. So Tagir probably gets booked in a very high-profile fight his next time out. And for Azat Maksum, I mean, he comes to the UFC 15-0, and now, 14-0, wins his debut and then has lost his last two. So he's fighting good guys, Charles Johnson, Tagir Ulanbekov. I mean, he's going to the distance with them. He's keeping it somewhat competitive. But for a kid that was coming over to the UFC as an undefeated, potential megastar or potential guy that's going to go there and be a threat to the division, not quite sure. He just doesn't have any real X factors to his game. His striking is limited. I mean, I thought Tagir Ulanbekov did a good job of winning the majority of the exchanges, especially in that third round where it was close. Ulanbekov finished up strong, landing a number of right hands over the top. Max is not super tall. He's not super physical. His wrestling is good, but not great by divisional standards. He's just kind of a body within the division. He's capable of giving a lot of these guys tough fights. And in the same breath, he's probably capable of losing a lot of these fights in the same fashion. So I wouldn't write him off yet. And certainly somebody that I would be interested in betting. But he's low volume for flyweight, and his wrestling, 3 takedowns over Tagir, but he couldn't really get any type of control time going with that. I just wasn't overly sold on Azat Maksum. Solid performance for Tagir, not an easy fight, is what it is. Arina Alekseeva versus Claudio Sygula. This is the first wrong pick on the card. I had Arina Alekseeva, and this is totally my fault. Honestly, I just kind of expected her to take the fight to the ground. She's got a grappling advantage. Sygula is not a good grappler. Sygula, Polish girl, and a lot of these Polish fighters, especially in the women's divisions, they're good strikers. Pretty well all of them are good strikers. You want to take her down, you want to expose her a little bit on the ground. Alekseeva is known as Russian Ronda. Russian Ronda. And yet, doesn't fight in the slightest bit like Ronda. Just bounces this little afro side to side, charges face first into punches. It was a really bad looking performance. This first round, she's trying to make it a scrap. She's trying to get in her face. Just everything's missing by a country mile. And it's all the same check, not even a check. It's like a swinging door left hook and a swinging door right hook. Big left, big right, big left, big right. She's trying to counter with those hooks. She's trying to lead the dance with those hooks. Pretty well all she throws is these hooks that are coming just from as far as you possibly could throw them. So Sygula just did an excellent job of just throwing straight down the middle, mostly with the right hand. She would plow out the jab a little bit, just wait for Alekseeva to come in recklessly, and then plow her with the right hand. The first round was like she just fought a very high ring IQ type performance. I know what my opponent's going to do. Alekseeva shot 0 takedowns, made no attempt to get this fight to the ground, was just extremely comfortable charging face first into punches. Fair. Loses the first round. Second round, Alekseeva is going to have to make some adjustments, but she does. She does the exact same thing. She shoots 0 takedowns. She comes forward, and she's just slinging leather. I will give her one thing. She had a lot of constant pressure. I thought one of her shots to the body in the second round did do some damage. And then Sygula kicks her in the box. Now, she kicked her in the box in the first round, but the first round she lost regardless of what happened. The second round, she also gets kicked in the box. It's 2 low blows. You can call them accidental, but it wasn't like 2-piece and throw it. Both times, her opponent's standing right in front of her, and she just boots her one. Not intentional, but there's two of them. The first one, I don't care about. It's unintentional, and the round was evaporating anyways. The second round, if you rewatch it to the point of the foul, Sygula looks like she got hurt partially by a small shot to the body, and then it looks like the pressure from Alekseeva, who's feeling confident, who's staying in her face, who's starting to land a little bit. It looks like maybe she's starting to break through. The second kick to the box takes her out for 90 seconds, for 2 minutes. Now it just ruins the momentum. And I know not everyone's going to understand that. And I'm not saying it to try to like make an excuse. Alekseeva wins this fight 9 out of 10 times, maybe 10 out of 10 times. I just mean you're putting a lot of pressure on your opponent. They're starting to second guess themselves. They're moving backwards. You're gaining. You're starting to land. One partially has them injured, and they illegally hit you. Groin strike, eye poke, doesn't really matter what it is. It halts the momentum. It gives them 90 seconds to recuperate. When you say, okay, go, it changes everything. So, and we'll talk about Naurdiev later. Naurdiev appears to be losing. He's on his way to losing. And then it's like, there you go. I'm going to buy myself 4 minutes. And he does it twice, and then he legally knees him in the face. So, Naurdiev to me is a cheater. Sygula, not cheater at any point. It's just two fouls. It's like, what? Does everybody get 2 groin strikes now? Does everybody get 2 eye pokes? The ref comes in the back before the fight, explains all this to you. Do not poke your opponent in the eye. Do not low blow. And I understand, but you're in charge of your weapons. I understand you didn't mean to kick them in the groin. They were moving. It was the heat of the moment. In this case, Alekseeva's not moving. She's standing right in front of her, and she took it twice. So because I had a bet on Alekseeva, and I'm about to be down 2-0 I want the point deduction. I've been low blow twice. It ruined some of my momentum in the second round. If I can get a point deduction, all I need to do is win the third and hit a draw. And I will most definitely get my money back on this one with a void, because I'm otherwise about to lose my money. So a draw would have been great. But you can't scream. Should be a point deduction. It's a couple low blows. They were obviously incidental. Alekseeva did it to herself. The third round, it's like, all right, Alekseeva, try to get this fight to the ground, because standing's not doing you no good. Actually, that's a lie. Do you want to know my personal opinion on the third round was keep doing what you're doing and try to get kicked in the groin and lose the point. She tried to take her down. She initiated a clinch, eventually got taken down herself. You'll see she had a minute 43 of control time, just pressing up against the cage. She didn't commit to any takedown. Didn't look like she even had a wrestling game to begin with. Just an absolute bum pick top to bottom. And I will take responsibility on that. It's not like I overvalued Alekseeva, is that I seriously undervalued Sygula, because I thought she was no good, and that the striking exchanges would be far closer, and that she wouldn't fight with this great game plan, and she would slow down after the first round, and that the fight would hit the ground at some point, and Alekseeva would have a marginal grappling advantage, and like quite literally none of that was true. So that one's on me. It's a random chicks fight. Like, I'm not holding it against myself, but yeah, it was a bad look. Derry versus Melissa Mullins is like, I don't know, much of the same. They'd fought before. We knew Derry was a better striker. Mullins in that fight was able to get the fight to the ground and just have her way. She's a superior grappler. She got superior cardio. Paul warned me that this was again, it's not like he warned me, it's just, as we did discuss, Derry is a better striker. And you can see that from the first fight on the regional scene. She's winning the striking exchanges. It's when Mullins gets her down, it's game over. This first round, it's much of the same. Derry is the better striker. She's got the better volume. She's touching her up. Mullins is able to get a takedown, but it's not as easy. She doesn't get much control time with it, and she just can't get much done. One takedown in the first for 42 seconds. One takedown in the second for a minute 8. One takedown in the third round for a minute 5. It's like, you need to get these takedowns right at the hop. You need to gather up way more control time. That way, when she stands up, 18 to 20, yeah, 35 to 20 is pretty bad. 40, she just basically got it landed every round. Could she have taken the fight down earlier? Could she have racked up some more control time? Maybe. But I think Mullins is someone that is regressing, or at the very least not making any improvements fight to fight. And Derry's a good striker with no grappling. The longer she continues to fight, the longer she trains, the longer she accrues experience, then eventually she will be able to grapple a little bit. Her grappling looked better in this fight, but her striking and her numbers look solid. So it was a close competitive fight. Just Derry's the rightful winner, and she won. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Jung Young Park versus Ismail Naurdiev. Really needed Park to get us back on the winning track here. And, of course, we did use him on the second line. He had been floating around most of the week at like minus 185. He ended up coming down to like minus 155, minus 165 come fight time. There was some love coming in for Ismail Naurdiev. And then this is just like one real weird fight, man. One real weird fight. So Anybody that's ever watched Ismail Naurdiev knows that in the first 5 minutes, this guy is talented. Known as the Austrian Wonder Boy. Like, his striking is super slick. He's got nasty kicks. He's got nasty counter hooks. Throws in 3-4 punch combinations. Accurate. It's that if you've watched Ismail Naurdiev, he's small on heart. He's small on cardio. And he will absolutely just fucking quit after the first round. Not quit like I don't want to be here anymore, I'm done. Just like his skills rapidly fall off, his volume disappears, his grappling disappears, any edge to his game disappears, and then he starts to go through the motions. If he gets hurt, he crumples up. In this case, he didn't crumple up. He showed some heart. He fought all the way to the end, but he tried cheating on numerous occasions. Keep in mind, he wins this first round, right? And lands Park 52-26. I thought Park had some decent moments in the first round. It's that the speed advantages from Naurdiev. He's throwing up some solid volume. But by the end of the round, it's like that was it. Park took his best 4 minutes, and now the tides are about to seriously change, and Park is going to take over, and that's the feel. The second round, Naurdiev is tired to start the second round, so he pokes him in the eye right off the get-go. I saw that as a cheat. I saw that as he's tired after the end of the first round. The first round, which is traditionally his best round, he threw a lot. He landed a lot. But don't let these numbers fool you that it's a rout. It is not a rout. Yet Park had a lot of good moments. You'll see everyone did score the first round for Naurdiev. But by the end of the round, Naurdiev walks back to his corner and he's tired. He gets the 1 minute. He starts the round. He's still not 100% recouped. So he pokes him in the eye because this is going to buy him another minute or two. And now between the minute you had to start between rounds, and you get another 2-minute break after you poke him in the eye. There's no point deduction. You're clear to go. This is the second eye poke, I believe, at that point. There's no point deduction, and now he's had 3 minutes to recover. So as good as he looked in the first round, after the first round, his cardio always falls off. Now he's figured out a way to buy himself 3 minutes to recharge the batteries, that maybe he could have a good second round as well. And if Naurdiev was a 2-round fighter as opposed to a 1-round fighter, he'd be fine. So I thought he cheated with the eye poke. And again, I wanted them to take a point in the Alekseeva one, but I understand Sygula, it was unintentional, and you can't mess up the flow to a fight that much on something like that. This was like, this motherfucker's flat out cheating. Beyond that, Park takes his time. He blinks the eye out. The guy's a warrior. He says, oh, I can continue. The ref goes over to him and it's like, hey, man, no more warnings. What do you mean no more warnings? You've already given him 2. There's been 2 eye pokes. Okay, so they let him continue. No point deduction. Naurdiev doesn't touch gloves and say, brother, I'm sorry. But it won't happen again. See, I'm going to close my fist from now. Okay, touch gloves. You're good. Reset. Let's get back to it. No, the second that they're like, go, he bum rushes him. He bum rushes him like, sweet. I've had 3 minutes to catch my breath back. I'm good to go. I know I got that speed advantage. I know I got that striking advantage. I know this guy's left eye's compromised. The second that the ref says, okay, go, I'm just going to jump on him right off the hop. He's got no rhythm. He's not expecting it. He's going to need a second to start to get his adjustments back going. I'm just going to hop on him. So that's what he does. He hops on him. He lands a beautiful combination, puts him down. He could just keep thumping away. But keep in mind, this guy's tired. He's got bad cardio. Mentally, he's a quitter. So he took the easy way out and was going to gun him in the face with an illegal knee. Did he know it was illegal? I certainly think so. But he did act super ignorant afterwards and has been like, actually, ignorant's not a good word. More arrogant. Like what? I didn't know. I didn't know. It was on the ground. Oh, brother, I didn't know it was on the ground. It's been playing on the replay for 5 minutes. He's sitting over there taking the entire of the 5 minutes. The refs made a pause. They've pulled you off the cage. How, after 5 minutes of standing there staring at him, did you not know what you did? Heat of the moment. Well, he's a 30-fight veteran, so there's really no excuse. The round would look like Naurdiev kicked his ass, but keep in mind, once the round resumes, Park takes over and wins the rest of the round, and there's a 2-point deduction. It's good that Herb Dean's there because the guy comes over and he's talking to him and he's just like, oh, well, accidental, and maybe we'll take a point. Or you can hear Herb tell him 1 point for the foul, take 2 points because of the cut, which is fair. It's not like, and I say this all the time, if you accidentally eye poke somebody and they were just like, okay, yeah, I'm good, 40 seconds off the clock, they're good. You see sometimes it's an accidental low blow. The person will say, oh, 1 second, take a minute. Yeah, I'm good. There's no real long-lasting damage. It's not good. It disrupts your momentum. There's some type of damage being created, but it's different if like there's a headbutt and a big cut opens up. You see it in boxing all the time. It's like, oh, it was an accidental headbutt, but now one guy's got a 2-inch gash above his eye. Like that affects things, right? In MMA, it'd be like, oh, I poked this guy in the eye, and now his eye's bloodshot, and now he's blinking it out. Now he can barely open it. The groin strike. Oh, I got this guy in the strike. He threw up in a bucket, and he's been lying on the canvas for 5 minutes. That's real damage. You should lose a point for any type of damage caused by an incidental blow, and then a point because of the incidental blow, because there's multiple warnings. In his case, he had 2 warnings for the eye poke. So the knee to the face, it's just more cheating from Naurdiev. 2 points is a fair call. The problem is that let's say it should be a DQ win, right? And Park should get his hand raised. They should give him the disqualification, and then that's the end of it. He chooses to say, no, I can still fight. They choose to just take off 2 points. And whereas that's fair, you don't know how bad Park's eye is. I mean, they say he can't see out of it. The thing looks like it's swelling. There's definitely a cut. There's a lot of visible damage. And even though you took 2 points off him, what's to stop Naurdiev from, who's now just sat here for 5-6 minutes getting his breath back, from just, okay, you guys are good, getting the jump right on him. And by the way, Park knew that was going to happen. That's why when they said, okay, you're ready, go, he shot a takedown right away. He's like, I know this guy's just going to bum rush me and throw 6 punches as fast as he can in a head kick because he's a cheating bastard. So Park did a good job of just neutralizing. You see 6 take, first round, 0. Second round, he shoots 6, and he only gets 1. It's not about getting him down. It's about getting him chest to chest and holding him. You can barely see. Your momentum has been taken away from you, and this guy's a gas bag some bitch. So you do need to just hold on to him and drag him and tire him out, and then you'll take over. And so I feel like Naurdiev, you can see the output. 105 significant strikes thrown in the first, 37 thrown in the second, 11 thrown in the third. He's a one-round fighter. He's a one-round fighter who attempted to cheat his way into a win. Iron Turtle, too tough, and ballsy, man. Ballsy performance to say, yeah, I can see, I can continue. Cody Brundage is looking for the DQ win. Other guy, and whatever. Aljamain Sterling did it to win a world title. Diego Sanchez, toughest dude of all time, did it against Alex Pereira. I get it. There's some people that are like, well, I might as well just take this win. But there's other guys like Anthony Smith against John Jones. He could have won a title against John Jones. He's losing the fight. Doesn't take it. Park knew I lost the first round. I just got deaded in the second round where I'm like very hurt, might have a mild concussion. My eyes busted up, and I'm losing the fight to this point. And you know what he says? I'm good to go. I'm good to go. So all the respect in the world to Iron Turtle. Guy's a warrior's warrior. He's a fighter's fighter. How could you not like him? And then for him to come back and win the fight in the way he does, 4.5 minutes of control time plus a submission attempt, almost got the submission too. It's solid. The scorecards are wonky because what should have been a 29-28 ends up being a 29-26. Ben Cartlidge had a 10-8 round, I guess, as well. So it's a 29-25. I don't know. The scorecards are just absolutely all over the place. Weird fight in that regard, but yeah, Jung Young Park, solid victory, and just not the easiest going. And then the last thing I will say is what I've taken the DQ win. If Park would have otherwise lost the fight, man, where the hell's my DQ? But I had it over 2.5 rounds on this one at -155. So the DQ would have cost me that. So I needed Park to be a warrior and fight to the death and win. And the fact that he was able to do both those things, yeah, the guy's got my respect for life. Oban Elliott versus Seo Kyung Ko, talking about guys that have my respect for life. Oban Elliott does not. The straight up, I'll give you the straight up, and then I'll give you the grease. The straight up is, I seriously overvalued Oban Elliott. I seriously undervalued Sung Young Ko. Sung Young Ko is strong. He's physical. He constantly is moving forward. He's got this karate game to him where it's hands low, but he's agile. He's agile. He wants you to commit first. If he does, he can step back and he can counter. If you don't commit first, this guy's quick. He's got a nasty high kick that he can just snap off. His straight left down the middle. He can fight just an unorthodox, hard to get a read on style, right? Physically, he's very strong. His ground game, 6 for 9 with 10 minutes of control time. It's like his ground game was way better than I anticipated. His striking was good, but the pressure was a lot better than anticipated. And the biggest thing of all is that Oban Elliott just fought far worse than I'd ever seen before. And this is not making excuses. It's just like when you watch some of Oban Elliott's fights, the Val Woodburn one was the reason, looking back especially, of why you shouldn't bet this guy, but especially the last two against Preston Parsons. Preston Parsons went 1 for 7 on takedowns. Oban Elliott looked like he had really solid takedown defense. Hafez never shot no takedowns, but Oban Elliott's technical boxing looked good. He's got a good body kick. Watching this fight, because it's all about analyzing and getting new information. Oban Elliott only strikes well if you guys are both striking from range. Like if you want to stand at range with him and exchange punches and kicks, he's got a body kick, which he likes to throw from a distance. He's got a long right hand, decent punches, but he likes to throw them from a distance. He doesn't want to fight in the pocket, and he doesn't want to fight moving off his back foot. And so the second that Kung came out and was the aggressor and led the dance the entire time, there was quite literally nothing Oban Elliott could do. He can't fight off his back foot. He's not physically strong enough to sting you with something and get you off of him. So now his only game plan was to shoot the takedown. And that's when you ran into problem number two. His physicality is not good enough to take down Ko. Ko would look twice as strong as him. Whenever Oban Elliott tried to initiate the takedowns, Ko would just toss him. Whenever Oban Elliott would go back to try to strike at range, Ko just closed the distance and beat him up. This is as clean as a 30-27 as you're ever going to see. The numbers on the significant strikes, 33-10, make it look competitive. The total strikes, it's 80-19. That was the real indicator of what happened. Submission attempt for Ko, 6 takedowns, over 10 minutes of control time, an absolute rout of epic proportions. Now, and this is more of a joke than anything else because I don't truly believe it, but if someone said, Cody, I can confirm that there was one fixed fight on this entire card, and you have to just guess of the 12 fights, which one was the fix, that would be the one I would say, not because I lost the top ticket, not because Oban Elliott fought like shit, but he really felt like he was not trying to win the fight at any point. His corner in the third round was like, dude, you have nothing to lose. Just go out there and throw. He throws right hand, a left hook, tried a partial overhand right, and then went right back to a clinch with him, got taken down, accepted position. First round, he accepted the position. Second round, he accepted the position. I think he just got so outclassed, it looked like he was not trying. That's the reality of it. But if somebody paid somebody to not show up, or somebody was sick all week and you didn't know about it, or somebody had some nagging injury and you were unprivy to the information, Oban Elliott fought unlike I had seen him fight in quite some time, and the reality was Ko was just actually a lot better than advertised. So nothing I can do there. His top ticket, which sucks, but yeah, I mean, listen, it's a lesson learned thing. You can't win all the time. You did good on PFL, you did good on LFA, you're gonna bomb one on the UFC. You might win one on a BKFC, you're gonna bomb one on a BYB. You might win one on a Tough Enough for a Cage Warriors and lose on a CFFC. Like, it's the constant grind of you're breaking down hundreds of fights. And I thought I had an okay read on this one, but you learn. And what I've learned is Oban Elliott is fade train material. I know he's 27. I don't see where he marginally gets better. I don't think his wrestling gets all that much better. I don't think his striking gets all better. And there's been a blueprint that's just been created. That if you just fight aggressive, stay in his face, and cause him to move backwards, he can't make adjustments. He has no plan B. So solid performance from Ko. Lesson learned. Bogdan Grad versus Muhammad Naimov. I took this plus 200 shot on Bogdan Grad against Naimov. I knew he'd have a cardio edge. I knew he'd just try to out-hustle him and keep this fight close and competitive. Maybe it plays out closer to a 50-50, but yeah, if Bogdan Grad can just out-hustle him, take him to deep waters, I think he would pull it off. I also got an over on it, being that it was over 1.5 at minus 260, so there was nothing there. But just, yeah, the way I saw it was that it was going to get into deep waters and whoever had the better cardio would win. It kind of felt like I was on the right track here to start out. The first round I scored for Naimov. Yeah, there's a takedown from Grad and more significant strikes, let's say. But to me, it was a Naimov round. He landed the better shots. The guy's physically strong. The total strikes were a lot closer than the significant strikes. Just felt like to me like Naimov won that first round. But this is okay. I knew I would lose the first round. The fact that I didn't get knocked out, we're good. Bogdan Grad's going to win the second. He's got the better cardio. Naimov will start to slow, which was the theory I was going into this one with. And yeah, whatever. Bogdan Grad won the second round. He struck up 10-6. He got one more takedown, good for 2 minutes of control time. He was really, putting on that pressure game. And I thought that this is the moment of the turning point for us. We lost the first round, although close. We've won the second round, still close, but it's 1-1 going into the third. Third round will be Grad's best round. Third round will be Naimov's worst round. We've been outstriking him. We've been taking him down. Let's just do it again. It's Naimov flips the script and gets a takedown of his own. Now, again, total strikes, 6-2 Grad, but that's significant, sorry. The total's 33-11. Yeah, and there's a lot of short knees to the thigh. There's a lot of short little shots. There's a lot of holding position. He got 2.5 minutes of control time. I wanted the judges to score for Grad. I felt there was an argument that Grad maybe could have pulled this thing out on a squeaky little split decision type spot, but not enough to scream robbery, not enough to be mad. Naimov won the fight. His cardio looked better than I expected. Again, it's all about learning. I feel like this guy's had cardio issues in the past. Trains at Colorado, trains at altitude. Definitely something that he's improving. This was a gut check fight. It's 1-1. It's in the third round. Who wants it more? And Naimov showed that he can pull something out if need be. So maybe I'm a little harsh on this guy at times. I'm not faulting Grad. He was a 2-1 underdog, and he gave me the best he could. I'll most definitely bet Grad in the future, pending opponent. For Naimov, I have more respect for him. It was another classic. He lands 18 significant strikes and wins a fight. He's not going to wow you. He's not going to win a performance of the night bonus unless he KOs you. He's not the most exciting guy going, but he showed a little bit of veteran presence there and not overexerting himself, waiting that third round to get a little bit of control time. I can't take anything away from Naimov. He did what he had to do. Nicholas Motta versus Nazim Sadikov. Sadikov ended up as the pick, but on the prop standpoint, we had it over 1.5 round at -130. This fight felt like it was going to be violent. It's just, I think people discredit Nicholas Motta because he's been KO'd so many times early that maybe they were just thinking Sadikov was going to run right through him. It would be competitive. Sadikov may knock him out at some point, hopefully after that over 1.5 round. Woof. What a sweat this was for an over 1.5. I mean, first and foremost, the first round is just an absolute round of the year type performance. Both guys are just slinging. Sadikov lands with 39-36. Total strikes 45-44. But the knockdown for Motta definitely helped him secure that first round. It's just a wild first. And even though Motta is having tons of moments, scores a knockdown, when he knocks down Sadikov, Nazim doesn't seem overly hurt. He's able to gather himself fairly quickly, get back to work. And he's just exchanging. The difference is both these guys are swinging wild. Motta landed his best shot on Sadikov. Sadikov goes down, he gets back up. Sadikov is yet to land his best shot on Motta, but when he does, and at the rate that you're throwing, the way you're fighting, the way you're just gunslinging from the hip side, at some point you're going to taste his best shot. And that's where it was like, well, Motta can't take Sadikov's best shot. Didn't land in the first, but it's like, it's coming the way you're fighting. And early into the second, that's exactly what happened. Not even like early into the second, a beatdown in the second. Motta did a good job of showing a little bit of durability, taking some big shots. I thought his technical boxing looked good. He went to the body. He had some moments, but Sadikov just too big, too strong, too much firepower. Officially lands 102 of 161 thrown for titles, 93 significant on 150 attempts. And this fight lasted all of 9 minutes and 17 seconds, right? So that was a lot of volume from Sadikov. I thought it was a fairly okay performance in him. He's not a world beater. He's not the most clean technical guy, but he's a dog. He's a dog that's going to throw down, has big power. And that was the one thing that Motta was lacking. Motta's got BJJ brown belt. Motta's got some decent boxing himself. What he was lacking was that dog. He showed some dogness. I can't actually flat out say that. He's lacking that cast iron durability. They both had knockdowns. Difference is one guy got right back up, the other one did. So really good fight from an entertainment standpoint. If you're going to rewatch one fight on this card, that was the fight that you want to go rewatch. Thrilling back and forth affair, but Sadikov proved to be the better guy for his line, like -430. I mean, I don't think he looked that good of a favorite in hindsight watching it. That over 1.5. Whoa. Oh man, talk about an absolute just a greasy ticket to be holding on to considering the nature of this fight. But all the same, we were happy to get it. Happy to see Sadikov win. And again, a fun fight. Nikolai Orolbai versus Tofik Musayev. So yeah, I'm top ticket on Orolbai. I love him this week. I got some singles on him. The line's been jumping. Like at 160, he was a good price tag. Did drop down to like -150-ish. Came back up to -185. There was some bounce back around. The narrative there seemed to be focused on Orolbai is very hittable. And so because he's very hittable, a big power puncher like Tofik Musayev was probably going to land on him at some point and could make it dangerous. My narrative on this one was outside of Michael Venom Page, who you can argue his success in the UFC, he's obviously the best of the bunch. The rest of these Bellator guys, Michael Chandler included, really. Chandler won his UFC debut at least, but the rest of these Bellator guys, it's like there's a noticeable difference. You're fighting B-level guys, and then all of a sudden it's like, dude, this guy's got a big win over Leandro Higo, and he beat James Gallagher. And it's like, well, yeah, those are good Bellator guys. They're okay Bellator guys. He's got a win over Patricio Freite or Patricki or Juan Archuleta or Sergio Pettis. Like, yeah, those are the best Bellator guys. How those guys do in the UFC? Well, you're quickly seeing that there's levels to it. When I was a kid, my dad raised horses, right? And he mostly, there's like a A series. It's like the A tracks, the B tracks. They don't call them C tracks, but there are essentially C tracks out there. It's mostly just A's and the B's. My dad, he had a pride that he just wanted to race at the A tracks. He didn't want to go to the B's. He'd go to the B's if there was a stake race, or, he had a big horse that was racing there for some type of series. But for the most part, it's like A track guys racing the A track, B track guys racing the B track. And A track guys shouldn't go to the B track because you're taking money out of those guys' mouths. That was always his theory. So when he started to wind down near the end of his career, he'd look back, at his numbers, and he'd say, geez, I won 5,400 races, which is cool. He always wanted over 5,000. When he got over 5,000, that was his milestone. But I would constantly see guys that were half the driver he was, half the athlete he was, had half the success that he had, have 6, 7, 8,000 wins. So I asked him, how come this guy's got twice as many wins as you? Some of these guys got 9,000 wins. You got 5,000. And yet he's got no money made. The guy's broke, living paycheck to paycheck. He's never won that big championship. He's never, made the big headlines. My dad says, well, wins are just like goals in hockey. One guy's got 500 goals in the NHL, and one guy's got 2,000 goals in the AHL. Well, what does it mean? That's a good point. Damon Allen, right? He was a quarterback in the CFL for the Argos. I moved a few teams. He had the all-time most passing yards in football history. And they used to play this all the time on the radio and on TV. And Damon Allen, most passing yards in football history. But they're not talking NFL. Damon Allen had no passing yards in the NFL. They're just calling it football. It's pro football. So it's not the same. When I look at Musayev, these accomplishments, he's 7-1 in Ryzen. Well, Ryzen is debatable as a premier organization. A lot of the times they're bringing him in against overmatched Japanese guys. If you know anything about Japanese fans, they love watching the local guy get beat up. Kazushi Sakuraba is the biggest star in Japanese mixed martial arts history. And they would routinely book him to get killed, to get murdered. Vanderlei Silva fought him 3 times. Ricardo Arona, watch that fight. And it's like, they're prideful. They're so happy and they're joyous. And it's like, Sakuraba, you earned our respect. But he almost just died. His head starts to swell out like a watermelon is growing on it. The guy goes to the hospital for like 2 weeks afterwards. They're down. It's a thing of honor and respect, way of the samurai. So you go over there and you look good in Japan. You fight in Bellator. He's actually only 1-1 in Bellator. And yet you make your UFC debut at 35 years old, having not fought in a year and a half, against one big of a brute in Orolbai. And people just expect you to win. I don't know. I didn't miss that one. Orolbai was a top ticket guy to me. If you check out the comments, if you checked out, people were upset. How could you go with Orolbai? This guy's going to lose. There was a sentiment out there that this wasn't a slam dunk lock. And of course, you never know anything until it actually happens. But once this fight started, it was a slam dunk lock. He's twice the size of Musayev. He got him down on the first takedown. Musayev gets back up. If you've ever watched Orolbai fight before, you'll see 7 takedowns against Medic. That only went 2 rounds. 5 takedowns against Brenner, 2 against Rebecca. He got tired in that one. Rebecca's a G. He was going to just keep doing that over and over and over. Steps over for a Kimura. When was the last time you seen a Kimura? Would be like a legit one. I'm not talking about that fraudulent Kazaki guy that missed weight by 6 pounds. I guess the last one would be like Islam Makhachev, Bobby Green. Was that a Kimura? I'm pretty sure. Islam Makhachev's got one. Anyways. What I'm saying is at an elite level, it just doesn't really happen anymore, especially in the first round. Orolbai just big brothered him. He took him down. I'm going to say beat him up. He landed 2 significant strikes. He beat him down. He's twice as big, twice as strong, grabbed the arm. Kimura is essentially a power move. And that's all he did. That was like so straightforward. So I guess the only thing is like, you always look at things in hindsight and what could we have done differently. It's like, I should have just remortgage my house and put a single on Orolbai, and that's it. Screw parlays for this card. Go Orolbai. But of course, whenever you're before the fight, it's, well, the other guy's from Azerbaijan and the fight could be rigged. And he does hit hard. He's got 18 knockout wins and 22 pro victories. When you watch him fight, he can throw just, 35, only there because they're in Baku and they want a local guy, hasn't fought in a while. It seems like the narrative was on point. The skill level was on point. Orolbai wins that fight 10 out of 10 times. I know puncher's chance is always a thing. 9 out of 10 times. should have been all over him and even more. Blaydes versus Rizvan Kuniev. So I'm going to take a little bit of hate on this one because I didn't score it the way everybody else scored it. I thought Blaydes won the fight 29-28. I realize that is not the popular opinion. Let me bring up MMA decisions. Blaydes. Switch tab. Blaydes Kuniev. Yeah, you'll see two guys from Sherdog, and I always harp on how bad the guys from Sherdog are at scoring fights. That one does not play in my favor. And then quite literally everybody else has Kuniev. When you look at the comments, 29-28 Kuniev, 29 Kuniev, but not a robbery, right? Okay, fair enough. This guy says a good Kuniev performance ruined by idiot dumbass judges. Well, that sounds like a robbery. Obviously, people were on Kuniev, and he was a betting underdog. It's middling heavyweights. I can see why they're upset, because you have a ticket that's close to hitting, ultimately doesn't. I get the frustration, but what I will say in this fight is that the first round, Curtis Blaydes does what Curtis Blaydes does. He gets his 2 takedowns. He gets his 3 minutes of control time. He lands the short strikes for totals. He lands a few more significance. It's a classic Curtis Blaydes first round. This is what he does. Then he blows out his knee, which we'll talk about in a minute. Blows out his knee. The second round, he cannot get takedowns anymore. He goes 0 for 4. He's forced to stand with Kuniev. And Kuniev's not known as the biggest power puncher, but Blaydes doesn't wear punches all that well. His nose starts to bleed. He gets walled. Well, it looks like Kuniev's about to put him away. Kudos to Blaydes. He recovers. He survives. He tries to buy himself some time, but he can no longer offensively get the takedowns. And so his game is now, I need to stand and strike. Problem is Kuniev's barreling him down. Kuniev's landing the better shots. He has more power. And when you see Blaydes strike, a lot of the time, he's got such a long jab on him. It's mostly like jab down the middle, jab down the middle. If you stay to the outside, well, then he'll just keep jabbing because it's hard to break that distance. When you do break that distance, he'll try to duck under and grab a hold of you and take you down. So without his ability to shoot the takedowns anymore, all he really got is this long-range jab, and Kuniev's barreling him down, killing the pocket and beating him up with right hands. So yeah, this thing's definitely trending towards Rizvan Kuniev. It's now 1-1. Kuniev's the live betting favorite. The fight's trending in his direction. Blaydes is hurt. Blaydes can't get these fights to the ground. It's over. Well, wrong. And this is where I disagree because everyone scored the third round for Kuniev. I gave it to Blaydes. Blaydes didn't win the fight. He won the control time. He won the points. The fight's not judged as a fight. Oh, look at this. One guy's nose is broken and he's got a cut over his left eye and his jaw is dislocated and he needs to go to the hospital. But he won the fight because he won all 3 rounds. But the other guy doesn't get a mark on his face. He did the damage, but he got controlled. And so sometimes a guy gets kicked in the head and it does there's no visible damage. You just pop. It rattles you. It hurts you. There's no visible damage. Some guys get jabbed in the face like Nick or Nate Diaz and they got a cut over the eyebrow. It looks bad. So the round didn't look good for Blaydes, but the reality of it is Blaydes outstruck him in that round 28-13, which means he more than doubled him up. The total strikes are 61-19, meaning he tripled him up. He also did not get any of his takedowns, but he got 2 minutes of control time. So explain to me how Kuniev won that third round. Almost universally, in all the media members' books, Kuniev won the round. And a lot of the fans' opinions, Kuniev won the round. And I understand that I'll take some shit on this one because that's not the popular opinion. But I have no problem saying when I bet a guy and I thought he lost, I have to defend when I thought a guy won. I can't just go with the common narrative because I don't want people to shit on me in the comment section. That's not what it's about. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. So if you want to shit on me in the comment section, that's fine. Let me know your side of it as well. Don't just say you're a fucking idiot. Tell me why you thought Kuniev won that round. But for me, you can say, well, Kuniev landed the bigger shots. You're just looking at numbers, Cody. You're just looking at the numbers, and it appears that there's more volume. But reality is, he held Kuniev against the cage, and he's working. It's short shots, knees to the thigh, knees to the thigh. He realizes, I just lost the second round trying to stand with him. I can't do that anymore. I'd love to take him down. My knee's blown out. I can't do that anymore. So he fought what would be the winning game plan for a one singular 5-minute moment in time where he just needs to win more of that 5 minutes than his opponent. And that's neutralize him up against the cage. Hold him there, land short strikes, at range, mind your P's and Q's, land 2, try to clinch him up again. I thought Blaydes won the third round. I thought Blaydes won the fight. Not a robbery. Well, people that had Kuniev apparently thought it was a robbery. It's a close fight. And had Kuniev won it, I too would not have cried robbery. I get it. It wasn't the prettiest thing going. But He did what he had to do given the circumstances and got through. Now, the post-fight interview, he flat out says that. He's like, well, I blew my MCL on my knee, happened in the first round, couldn't take him down after that. I just went into survival mode. And it sounds bad. Oh, he's just trying to survive. Well, that third round, he landed more strikes in the third round than the two previous combined rounds 1 and 2. He had 30. The third round, he had 28. Combined the first two rounds, he had 40 total strikes. The third round, he had 61. Is that surviving? Or is that trying to do the best you can, given the circumstances of you're on one leg and you can't take him down? Props to Curtis Blaydes all day long. Not super interested in betting him in the future because his wrestling seems to be diminishing. His body's diminishing. There's ways to beat him. Kuniev is just an average mid-ranked contender, and he's giving him everything he can handle. Yeah, like Blaydes, the end of the run is getting near for Blaydes. But in this instance, he used his veteranship, the stuff that he had learned over a course of an entire career, and pulled it off. The last thing I'll leave you with is the fact that he knew. Imagine you're doing anything and you hurt your knee. Would you say I hurt my knee, or would you be able to be like, fucking tore my ACL, MCL, PCL, meniscus? How you know you hurt your knee? How you know exactly what part of your knee you hurt? The fact that he was like, I tore my MCL. People that are like super into the human body and whatever, like I'm sure they could tell you, well, he could feel the pain. I think that like the ACL's at the back, or it might be at the top. So you might be able to say, well, I knew it was at the top, or I knew it was at the back, so I knew it was this. Bottom line, it means that he's already had MCL injuries. He's already had an issue with the MCL. He already knew the knee wasn't 100%. So when it went out on him, he was able to say right away it was the MCL. And so a big boy, getting older, knee injuries, doesn't have huge power, doesn't have a submission game, was known as the best wrestler in the division. That wrestling's now been taken away from him. Yeah, Blaydes is going to be a sitting duck here pretty soon. So you just need to kind of, watch yourself with betting him in the future. Ignacio Bahamondes versus Rafael Fiziev. Knew this would be a scrap. Did end up taking Bahamondes, but again, it's at the bottom of the tickets. Those tickets have all been torched thanks to Oban Elliott. And even if Oban could have pulled it off, just he was on bottom lines with the likes of Melissa Mullins and stuff. So we knew this would be close and competitive. I ended up going with Ignacio Bahamondes. Paul was actually dead smack on this one in that he said, I think Fiziev's going to take him down. Like, Fiziev's got an okay wrestling game. It's underrated because everyone knows him as an elite striker. He took down Justin Gaethje. I think he's going to mix in takedowns. I didn't fully see it. I thought there'd be a live, rabid crowd. They want to see violence. They're all there in his favor. He's fighting a guy that's just going to stand with him and strike. Striker's delight. Why not take it? But yeah, I thought Fiziev fought an excellent game. First round, he's so much faster than Bahamondes. He's so much cleaner and smoother. He's got excellent footwork. Bahamondes is big and lumbering, and so it takes him some time to get going. He's a slow start. Once that momentum builds, then he's hard to get away from. And it's a constant stream of jabs and kicks and right hands. And, he just overloads your system the longer the fight goes. Early, a smarter technician, a guy the level of Fiziev would be able to just kind of matador him, and he did. It's a competitive first round, but Fiziev wins the first round. The second round, Ignacio figures him out. And like I said, this guy's a steam engine. He's starting to build up the momentum. Once he starts to go, there's no turning back. And this is where Fiziev mixes in 2 takedowns and only 55 seconds of control time. I thought Bahamondes was winning the round until a minute left, 45 seconds left. It's not like Fiziev's starting the round touching gloves and shooting. It's not like he's throwing 2 punches and shooting. He's taking him down in like the best opportunity. Oh, it's a close round. It's a close round. Boom, minute left. Ground him. And this is great. Ignacio Bahamondes has an okay ground game. He's got long limbs. You'll see with all these long limb guys that, oh, he's hiking the leg up. Oh, he's going high guard. Oh, he's attacking an armbar. Oh, he's attacking a triangle. You have to build it up. You have to build it up. He's got long limbs. He can't create fast space. Okay. He's tricky on the ground. But when there's 45 seconds, well, it's going to take him a minute to get his legs into play. It's going to take him a minute to latch on to create the trap and then grab the triangle. And then the triangle is not you tap right away. It's you squeeze on this thing for 30 seconds and put him away. So Fiziev knew even if this guy is tricky on the ground, there's not enough time. And the rounds are close. So getting the takedown and riding out the last minute on top is going to seal the deal. Beautiful. Beautiful work from Fiziev. Wins that second round. He's up 2. He doesn't need to do anything in the third round, but he's not a runner-awayer. He's not a quitter. He's not someone that's not looking to elate the fans. So he goes out and he does the same thing. Throws caution to the wind, put everything on the line. Biggest round in terms of volume, output, strikes landed, the 2 takedowns. Bahamondes was just trying to find it hard to get into gear. When he was standing, he would start to build some momentum. He would start to land some shots. He'd get taken down. Work your way back up, get up. Now you're hesitant about the takedown. Now it takes you a minute to get back into your rhythm. He gets taken down again. And that in between, while you're trying to reprocess what's going on and get comfortable, Fiziev's landing on you. Again, I know I've been talking about a lot of veteran performances. Blaydes had to use a veteran performance to hold on and survive, which he did, and I thought he won. Hill, we're going to talk about versus Rountree. Rountree fought a very veteran performance as well, to be honest with you. Naimov showed a veteran performance. It's just being able to make those decisions, those calculations. What's the best game plan? How can I excite the fans and also come out with the victory on the other side of it? Rafael Fiziev, solid victory. Would I still like to see him move to 145? I mean, he just beat the biggest guy at 155, so I suppose it really doesn't matter. And I don't want him to hurt himself on a weight cut and all of a sudden not be that same guy. He's exciting. He's dynamic. He's a good striker. He's shown you a sweet little wrinkle with offensive wrestling. Is it going to work at the elite level against the best guys in the division? No, but it's something new. And so kudos for Rafael Fiziev. A 3-fight losing streak seemed undeserved because of how talented he is, but now he's on the right track. And for Bahamondes, this does nothing for me to change my opinion about him. He's a young guy. He's big. He's got good volume. It was a veteran performance. The fact that you decided to accept a fight with Rafael Fiziev, biggest fight of your career in Azerbaijan as a co-main event, kudos to him. Just unfortunately, it was a risk that didn't yield him the biggest reward this time around. I think his stock maybe slightly goes up, if not stays the same, but it does not lower in a defeat, especially a defeat like this. Main event. Main event, everybody wants to see a winner in the main event, even if you're not the highest on them, is they want to know. When people watch the show, they might only want to watch the first fight that you're breaking down, right? YouTube analytics will tell you that the average watch time on a preview is 30 minutes. And a preview is typically an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, which means that the average person is watching it for the first 2 fights, maybe the top 3 fights, but probably the main event and the co-main event. So there's always that expectation that you're going to get the main event right. And I'll be honest with you, I felt pretty good about this main event going into it. I know I got the superior volume in Jamal Hill. He's motivated. He's healthy for the first time. I don't expect him to get knocked out early. This thing will go to rounds 3, 4, and 5. And in rounds 3, 4, and 5, Hill's going to take over. That's the thought process, which was obviously incredibly wrong. Paul tried to talk me out of it. Paul didn't try to talk me out of it in the traditional sense that Rountree's just going to knock him out. Did you not watch Jamal Hill's last 2 fights? He can't take a punch anymore. Rountree's just going to knock him out. The people that were coming at me on, whether it be Twitter or YouTube or coming at me, whatever, I enjoy the banter. The people that were favoring Rountree were all saying the same thing. He's just going to knock him out. Hill can't take those shots anymore. Paul was the one that was like, the leg kicks are going to decimate Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill's got bad knees. He's had problems with his legs in the past. Achilles injury. They were taped up pretty good against Petroska. Like he's wearing knee braces on both of them. He's a big, tall guy. He's had problems with his feet and his knees in the past. These Khalil Rountree leg kicks are just going to debilitate him. Once you debilitate him, all of a sudden he's not a mobile guy anymore. And Hill's entire game is being quick for light heavyweight, fast on his feet, and lots of output. Take the legs away from him, chop down that tree at the base. He's a standing target. Can't move, can't get out of the way. Volume will fall off. Paul really did nail this one. I owe him a shoey bet, but because he's not on the recap right now, it's like it feels unfair to just down one without him. Plus, as I'm downing it, there's no one to ride the pine and like fill that dead air. So I'll just save it for the preview show this week. But yeah, he was absolutely right. And not only was he right in his assessment of like Rountree will win the fight, because a lot of people are right about that. He was a popular pick this week. For whatever reason, he went from being the favorite to being the underdog. But there's a lot of guys that cashed on him because believe me, I saw the love for Khalil Rountree. Paul really nailed the leg kicks were going to be my undoing. And now that aside, Jamal Hill also fought like shit. So you got a version of Khalil Rountree that fought a good game plan and a version of Jamal Hill that just fought awful. But for Rountree, again, yeah, it's a lot of leg kicks. His totals for the leg kicks in particular were 30 of 36. In the first round, Hill's trying to kick back with him. Look, Rountree lands 8 leg kicks. Hill had 9. Second round, Rountree's got 7 leg kicks. Oh, Hill only had 3. Third round, Rountree's got 6 leg kicks. Hill 0. Fourth round, 0. Fifth round, Hill, I guess, threw 3, but You can kind of see where the progression was. His legs just got hurting. Now all of a sudden he can't move. Rountree's only credited with one knockdown in the third. I thought he knocked him down in the second as well. This was just a beatdown from start to finish. 50-45, right at two judges at 50-45. One scored it a 49-46. 50-45 was like a pretty fair scorecard for me. Maybe the second round, I guess, because of the numbers. It just felt like a beatdown from Tree the entire time. Hill, if we want to make excuses for him, wow, the leg kicks hurt him and this and that. Let's take the excuses off the table. He looked deathly afraid. He did not look like he wanted to engage Rountree, which is fine because of Rountree's muscular stature, and you know he's going to be dangerous for the first two rounds. But by the time those late rounds came, he had nothing. And there was moments where Rountree didn't fight a perfect fight. He fought a smart fight, but it was in its own way boring. Yeah, he outstruck him 102-69 with a knockdown, heavy damage to the leg. But like he would land one big leg kick, one big snappy left hand up top. He's way faster than Jamal, but then he would just run away. He skirt the outside, use his footwork, skirt the outside. He knew from getting tired against Pereira that I'm not just going to throw down with this guy. I'm going to throw down, take off, throw down, take off. There was some criticism online that it wasn't a most exciting fight. I didn't think it was a boring fight. I just thought, yeah, maybe it wasn't a fight of the night type performance where you ended the night on some super high note. It was just one-sided, you know? Maybe if it was 3-2 with that kind of action, it might have felt more entertaining. A one-sided route is always going to feel a little boring, but this is what this was. It was a one-sided route. The sad thing for Hill is that this now puts him on a 3-fight losing streak. Pereira, he was on short notice and he got caught. Former interim champion, got caught. It happens. Against Yuri, Yuri's a madman. The fight was somewhat competitive until the finish. Here, it wasn't competitive at all. It wasn't competitive at all, and I don't know what he improves. Like, this is the division, right? So he's never going to fight Magomed Ankalaev. I mean, let's face it, that's over and done with. Yuri beat the crap out of him. If they were to run that back, that's exactly what would happen. Poatan beat the crap out of him. If they were to run that back, that's exactly what happened. Prior to this fight, I would have told you, I think the guy would be competitive against Collar's Ulberg, although I would kind of favor Ulberg. It would be competitive. Now I don't believe that at all. Jan Blachowicz likely, he's just so old, but in my opinion, likely beats him. Rountree is the number 6 guy in the division, just beat him. Dominic Reyes beats him. Rakic may beat him. Mirzakhanov beats him. There's a guy that's way down there that could also beat him. Minyang Zhang and Guskov could be competitive. Dustin Jacoby at number 17. I think Dustin Jacoby could beat Jamal Hill. Because think about it. I mean, Dustin Jacoby's a better striker than him. He's got more volume. He's got the same leg kicks that he could employ. He'll just look lost. Like, just a jab. That's it. And you'll watch that fight. You're down 2 rounds. You're down 3 rounds. You're down 4 rounds. You need it. And he'd be sitting there and he'd jab him. And then Rountree would punch him in the face and he'd be like, nope. Like, nope. Or he'd shake his head like, nope. And then get punched in the face again and be like, nope. It's like, dog, I don't know what the hell the game plan is, but you're going through the motions. And I'll admit, who's the idiot that picked him? Put some faith on him? Me. So, yeah, you're never going to get them all right. You just hope that even if you are wrong, you can still, like Bogdan Grad, oh, whatever, you're wrong. But it's like, I was close, and he was plus 200 as an underdog, and he had some moments, and you get some dogs wrong, and you get some favorites wrong, but at least they gave you a go. Elliott was a 4-1 favorite. He did absolutely nothing. He got brutalized. It was a 30-27 across the board. So the fact that the advice that came out of my mouth was Elliott was a good pick this week was not good advice. It was not good advice at all. Hill, meanwhile, at least you had my partner in crime, Paul Shaughnessy, trying to talk some sense into you. I didn't take the advice. And it wasn't like I loaded on Hill this week and he was on my top ticket and it was a live or die week by Hill. But in the true nature of just trying to be as open and clear as I can, once Elliott lost, I did some personal rebuilding that now included Hill a lot more than it should have because I'm trying to chase back some numbers. So it was a bad move. It was a bad move to put some stock and some faith into Hill. And again, all I can say is lesson learned. I will say, I'm not betting Hill in the future, but I'm also not betting Rountree. Like, yes, he won 50-45. Yes, it was a clean performance. Yes, he made Hill look bad, but it was more so an eye-opener to how bad Jamal Hill was. And yeah, Rountree beat him. But yeah, give Rountree some of those guys ranked above him. I don't know. Even then, let's bring up the rankings. We don't have to bring the rankings up at all. Just yeah, we just looked at it. Like Mirzakhanov versus Khalil Rountree would be a fun fight. Guzkov Rountree probably beats Guzkov, but a fight like that would be a fun fight. Dominic Reyes versus Khalil Rountree. I would love that fight. Maybe help set up who's going to be the next guy to go out there and fight for the title. Rountree won't get an immediate title fight, but because Poaton's not the champ anymore, and he gave him a go, people might be inclined to watch that fight if they were to run it back. But if he can just go knock off a couple contenders, then he can find himself back into a title fight. Whether he wins that or not, probably not. But it's a big money fight. It's high profile. It's great for Khalil Rountree. He's getting into the best spot of his career, biggest money fights, highest profile at the later stage of his career. And that's really cool to see because, I mean, he's a student of the game. He's putting a lot of time in. So, on an emotional standpoint, cool to see Khalil Rountree win. The other side of it is, yeah, bad look for Jamal Hill. And then I'm out of here. The Jamal Hill fall from grace reminds you of the Colby Covington fall from grace in that he built his persona on having people not like him. Just being a dick, right? They're dicks in their own ways, but one guy would be, I don't know. Everyone knows Colby's shtick. Hill, I don't even know his shtick, but like he would just, I'm levels above this guy, levels above Poatan, Alex Pereira, much better striker than this guy. I'm much better than this guy right across the board. He gets knocked out, and then it's still, you got lucky, and I got the groin strike and the ref, and you threw me off, and run it back. He tries to fight Alex Pereira at the UFC Apex. I don't need no gloves. We do it right now. It's like, dude, come on. You don't have to be like this. Then they book him against Yuri, and he talks all types of nonsense and all types of shit about Yuri, and he loses that one. And then going to this Rountree one, my fault, I believed it. He talked a ton of shit about Rountree, about how there's levels to this and how he's levels better than him. So the realization is going to have to hit him at some point that he's no longer a contender. He'll never touch gold ever again. He's losing to guys that are ranked outside the top 5 at this point. He's non-competitive, losing all 5 rounds to guys that are ranked outside of the top 5 at this point. And he's not a likable guy. The only thing worse than his personality is those 2 shitty thumbs up tattoos on his chest. But now it sounds like I'm hating on him because he cost me money, and I don't want that to be the case. I cost myself the money. He'll just he's in a worse spot financially than I am right now. So don't feel bad for me. Feel bad for the guy that's career is slowly diminishing and his body's not holding up. It's just like it's compounding one bad thing after the other. Anyways, my little kid's got soccer, so enough about Baku, enough about the fixes or the potential fixes, and just got to dust it off and get back to next week. Again, props are good this week, so that's the small saving grace. Parlays were not so much for this UFC card, but it'll probably be roles reversed next week, and the parlays will be good and the props will get killed. So, can't have it all, but eventually we will get it all. Just didn't happen this week in Baku. That's it for me. Catch you guys next time. Best of luck, and hopefully you guys came out on the positive for this one. Cheers.